that's the reason why we have come up with a program like this. And we thanks to the convener of this program, the person of Omali Silas, is the CEO of Global Omasi. He's a digital person, and we really appreciate him for bringing us together tonight. So I'm going to be your facilitator tonight, and I go by name Ayemo Jeremiah Hotwatobi. So we are going to be having a live section. We are going to be having our guest soon. He's prepared for this section. I just chatted with him some minutes ago. So he's prepared for this live section, and I'm going to hand over to him very soon. But before then, I would still love to ask you guys that can you all hear me? I can see Rejoice. Rejoice, are we together? Are we on the same page? Rejoice. Okay. I can see Michael. Michael, are we together? Olivia George, Afisat, Alabisi, Mimi, you guys, are we together? I would love to hear feedback from you before we proceed.
Yes, sir, we're together.
Good. Thank you all. Thank you all. So I believe that as we proceed in this meeting, we will realize in full detail what it entails. And I believe a little intro has been given by the convener. I believe that's one of the major reasons why a lot of people have been joining this group. And I tell you of a truth that indeed there are a lot of things to benefit and a lot of value to be added to our life as we stick to the principles that will be discussed, that will be shared with us tonight.
She's currently not on the call at this moment.
All right. So guys, we'll continue from where we are right now. I would like to be introducing the person that's going to take over this meeting tonight. I believe you can all hear me clearly. So without wasting much of our time, okay, Sajiri, you're welcome. I believe you had a little glitch with your network, but thank God you're back. I'm about to introduce the speaker for tonight. Okay, the person I'm going to be inviting is one of how do I put it now, is a man I love so much and respect so much, and he is a convener of wisdom workers, and maybe after tonight we might love to join what is doing in the space. So he's a great man, and I believe after tonight will not be like a waste of time for you because you love to hear him again and again. I want to use this opportunity and with all humility to welcome Brother Joshua Lucas on the mic. Welcome, sir. You can take over from here, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Silas Omale. I really want to appreciate the opportunity I have to do this. It actually gives me joy. I don't think I find any fulfillment than doing what I'm doing, and to be able to have the privilege to do this to young minds and like minds, actually, it gives me a lot of satisfaction. So we're going to be going on a very, very quick journey, but I just want to get a feedback just one more time. So if you're ready, type in "I'm ready" in the chat box so that we can begin as fast as possible. Let's have those chat ups now. If you can hear me clearly and loudly, just type in "I'm ready." Okay, I'm only seeing one person who's ready. Abdul Samad is typing. I think if I have 5, I can go. If I have 5 persons, I can go. Abdul Samad, thank you. You're ready. I'm ready. Who's ready? Who's ready? Olivia George is on the call. Joseph Fidelis Agida is also on the call. Jennifer Abi is on the call. Let's see you type "I'm ready." Okay. I think I'm not going to wait for anybody because of the brevity of time. I'll just go straight up to what we have for today. Okay, thank you, Olivia George. All right. it's a very simple topic, but there's a complexity we need to unbox, right? So for those of us who have seen the flyer, it says preparing what next after NYSC. And I think it's a very important question that at some point everybody who is serving our fatherland or motherland, as it were, should be able to ask and then provide answers to that question, right? You want to really be able to answer this question, especially before you pass out from your NYSC, from the NYSC scheme. But the session is available, it says, for both ex-corpers and 7 corps members. So I am going to be very conscious of that while I say the things I need to say at this point. But what I must say at this occasion is, please, I want to really be particular for those who are still serving. The reason is because a lot of the times, I'm currently not serving anymore. Right, I finished November last year, and ever since it has been a very, very wonderful ride. And wonderful, I mean, is a mashup of both good and bad, or both challenges and enjoyments and so on and so forth. So it's a wonderful story, and I think there is a measure to which we can be in the control of the narrative of this journey, right? If we can do the things that we ought to do right, we'll be able to have a proper handle, right, on how things turns out, right? We are not going to leave our future to the whims of fate, or to the whims of to the whims of environments, to the whims of happenings, trends, right? There is a level of measure of control you can have. There's a decision a man can take today, and that decision will bring him results, expected results, right? That is how strategic we want to be about our lives, right? We want to be so strategic that as much as possible, of course, you will never get 100% of the control of your life, but that as much as possible, you want to be able to, like a farmer, sow seed in expectation that there's going to be a time for harvest, right? So that when you sow your seeds, you water your seeds, you just know that there is a system in place in the earth where there will always become a feedback. There will always be a response of the earth. So the earth, the world, as it were, is designed in such a way that what you give to the earth gives you back, right? So that's the foundational ideology I'm beginning to lay as the groundwork as we continue to. You want to be able to be strategic about your years, especially your 1 year in service. Okay, so what's next after NYSC? I can just answer this question in a few ways. There are just about a few answers that many people will give when they are posed this question, right? For a lot of us on this call, right? Some people, what's more important after finishing NYSC, just getting a job? Some people is just perhaps setting up a business, right? That business has been in your mind. Some people is about going into trade, right? For some persons here, you should be furthering your education, right, to master's level, PhD. Perhaps you want to bag another degree. I know that can be the narrative, right? But one thing is common to all these difference or the variety of the answers I've provided. Whether you're furthering your education, whether you're getting a job, whether you're setting up a business, whether you're going into trade, whether you're trying to obtain a vocational skill, a tech skill, whatever you want to do, the common ground is that it has to do with planning, right? That the first thing that everyone on this call wants to be able to do and do it very well is to be able to plan out these events, to plan out these things, right? And that's where wisdom lies. I have seen different kinds of corpers who have come onto the scheme, and perhaps I just share a bit of my story to you guys so that you guys can know from where I'm coming. So I come from Port Harcourt, Rivers State, and I was posted here to Katsina to serve. I came all the way from Port Harcourt, Rivers State, without the intention of going back to Port Harcourt, just to serve, right? I said anywhere I'm going to be posted, I'm just going to serve there, right? So I come to Katsina, and one of the things, and I'm going to be using this particular storyline to be able to withdraw or to extract very, very important points and principles that I believe that if anybody you can lay hold on it and then apply to your life, you will get results. Success is not left to wins. success is not left to anyhow it happen. No, success is deliberate. Success can be very strategic. Success can be a matter of 1+1, right? Success can be. So you can be successful if you want to. Whether you like it or not, it's either you're controlling your life or something else is controlling it, right? I know we all have an agreement that there's a God factor, but one of the things I'm going to be able to try to construct in our minds is that in the place where God has, has the final say as to what happens and transpires in our lives, in and of our lives, there is a role that is given to man, and that role is planning. And that this is what I feel that a lot of coppers are not really doing, especially I see a lot of them, they're not really doing. And the first thing you have to do when you have to plan about your years after service year is to first of all ask this question. So this question is a very valid question. What happens? So by asking that question, you've already loosened up your mind to begin to present itself variables of the things I could be doing or not doing, right? So if you have asked that question, let's dive deep into the possibilities, the possible things that you can be doing as a copper. So one of the things we should know is that we have different parts in life, right? We are not all the same. We can't be the same. One single human being is not the same as to the next brother standing or the next sister standing by. We are having different parts in life. And because we are having different parts in life, what that implies is that you should not expect one thing for the other person, right? An understanding of this very basic concept is an end to competition and comparison. Because one of the things that I feel that a lot of people will continue to struggle with, a lot of young people, a lot of coppers as it were, in this case, is you will finish school, right? There's an expectation by society, there's an expectation from your family that, okay, having finished school, what do you do next? Yes, you go to service. After you service, and then you face adulthood, right? You face life. You begin to bring in harvest to mommy and daddy because mommy and daddy has made investment, serious investment. So there's family expectation, there is societal expectation, and that itself can be a lot of pressure for you to be able to deliver success, as it were, right? Now, you want to be able to know where your pressures are coming from. And then when you understand where these pressures are coming from, you also want to know something as different from the pressure. You also want to be able to know exactly what it is you want to do with your life. You want to let me take away the word. Let me not say exactly, right? Because one of the things I find is that the revelation of the things that you could do with your life is a progressive one, right? It's not something that comes to us instantaneously. It's something that we journey into, right? So what I'm saying is you are already on pressure to deliver responsibilities, especially for those of us, and I believe the percentage is more than less, that the number of us who are on this call, the pressure that is laid on you, the burden to be successful, the pressure to be fruitful, right? To perhaps live a life of impact, or to have yields, to return yields to your parents who have invested a lot. I mean, NYSC is the apex of going for tertiary education, right? And then you have masters, and then you have the PhDs if you really want to further education. But everybody, the majority of people stop here. Most Nigerians would stop here. The moment you are done with NYSC, you face life. And if you're not in a kind of place that gives you a level of security and gives you a level of mental health to face that life, I tell you, life will face you. Life will beat you down. There's a lot of vehemence as to the arrogance that life will present to you. And a lot of people are usually not prepared for that. Some people are so short-sighted that they come into, the NYSC system and they don't ask these questions, and they don't give themselves to planning and strategic thinking, right? So that is one of the things I am presenting first as the core principle, that if you're going to have to answer that question, what am I supposed to do after NYSC, then it boils down to first laying hold of what it is that is your vision for life, what it is that is your purpose in life, right? There has to be a radical understanding. At least you have a hold, perhaps not fully, but to a measure and to an extent. You really want to have something that you can lay hold and say, this is how I've been able to structure my life, and this is how I want my life to be. This is how I want my life to end up. This is how I want to. Must have a clear mental picture of what it is you want in life, right? So that is where you want to begin. Most times, people, they go through university, they ask themselves questions like this, and then come into NYC, they think say life now just about, YOLO, you only live once, and they begin to give themselves to frivolities, themselves to things that really do not even matter at all. And that later on, it dawns on them that there is no more time. So you would hear people saying, for instance, the popular quote that anybody who has failed to plan has planned to fail, right? If I ask a question in this place, how many of you want to be successful? Definitely everybody has the raising of hand. We all want to be successful, but the commitment to the things that will make us successful, it is only a few people, and that is the difference between those who are mediocres and those who are champions. That is the basic difference between those who are really going to make it big in life, right? The world, as it were, human beings, as it were, are by default lazy. Now, I can put it to you very clearly that it's not as if you don't know what to do. I truly believe that information is not the problem. I truly believe that the knowledge of what to do is not so much a problem as the problem of doing what you know you ought to do, right? So this is where I'm going to be talking about two things. I'm just going to give two things, and I think these two things are sufficient in and of themselves to help anybody who is hearing me to go on. So if you're ready, just say I'm ready for two. I'm ready for two. Let's go. Just to be sure that everybody is following what I'm saying. If you're ready, just say I'm ready for two. Come on, let's type them. I'm ready for two. Two things. Just two things. I'm ready for two. Yes, thank you, Olivia George. Thank you so much. I'm ready for two. Now, so I mentioned passively, and I'm going to mention it concretely. What next after NYSC is a person that is thinking, that is asking that question. I have a lot of friends who have left the scheme. Oh my God. And it dawned on them that, see, life after NYC no be joke. I want to be talking to people who are like me, right? So maybe I may be talking from a place of bias, right? A lot of people who are like me, who do not come from wealthy backgrounds, right? So I'm talking to you especially. There are a lot of us who are perhaps on this call, and then all that you need to do is just finish your NYC, and then you are having you go and chop life, because already there's a lot that has already been prepared for you, right? You are living basically in abundance. But even at that, I'm still saying everybody still has to live his life, and that your father is not the same as you, and you are not the same as your father. There is a sense of fulfillment that we, each and every one of us, want to have, and that fulfillment is only derived from a knowing of yourself, from a knowing of yourself, from a knowing of what it is that constitutes your vision in life, right? So I'm saying to you, the first thing you want to do is to lay hold on your vision, your life's vision. See, if you have not settled that matter, settle it now where they serve. They beg you. Settle it now that you are serving. If you have not gotten grasp, you have not sat down with yourself. I'm not talking about you and anybody. I'm saying you, yourself, and yours. Me, myself, and I, we sat down together and we started asking very important life's question, right? So the projection of 70 years from now, projection of 100 years from now, right? A lot of us want to live 120, right? That projection, what it is that you want in life, basically, we all want success. I want to believe that. Now, what is the roadmap to success? What is the roadmap to success? What are the things I need to put in place? What are the things I begin to do, or I need to begin to do to ensure that I arrive at that destination called success? And if there is a common definition for success for everybody, there can be nuances as to the definition of success. But one thing that is certainly true to everybody, that success will give you fulfillment, because there is a success that does not give fulfillment. And I tell you that fulfillment must only come when you're doing something that is tailored to your purpose. And so you want to be able to ask those basic life questions now that you are serving. In fact, it is expected that it is supposed to be a question that you should be dealing with and struggling with when you're a teenager. How can you be asking a Nigerian graduate, what is your life's vision? And the person don't get anything to talk. If they look, they look. Right? That's how appalling our generation has transited away from common sense. Right? Have transited away from diligence and the notion of, basically, you need to be able to ask yourself that question and provide not all the answers, no matter how sketchy it can be, but you are attempting it, right? So what is your life's vision? I'm putting it to you as a question. What's your life's vision? I don't know. I think I can entertain one or two. Is there somebody who's bold enough to just type out, what do you think is your life's vision? And then I probably should just say one or two things about what vision is, and then I say the second thing, and then I'm done. I am trying as much as possible not to give everybody too many things that will bog you down, too many information overload. Just two things. First, lay hold on your life's vision. So I'm asking, is anybody who is bold enough to type, what's your life's vision? Or I probably should even call somebody on this group. That's how rugged I can be. But I don't want to make this place a place of embarrassment. So please, anybody who wants to tell us. I hope you know that these sort of questions that we are being asked, or this sort of question I'm asking, there are certain realms in your journey that you will be asked. So if you are deciding not to answer them now, you will surely meet the question one way or the other, right? So what's your life's vision? Silas Omala is typing. I don't want you to type, sir. I don't want to hear anything from you. Have vision people, okay. I think I have the permission to ask somebody. Okay, I have the. Okay, let me ask. Olivia George, do you mind? You want to tell us what your life vision is? All right, I'm calling Abdul Samad Bala Musa. If you're hearing, can you tell us what is your life's vision? All right, Safia Shehu, can you tell us? Sir Francis, whoever gets first, the mic is free. Somebody want to tell us, what's your life's vision? I'm not getting the response. Joseph Fidelis Aguida, Manyar Michael, Jennifer Abe. Is there anybody who wants to attempt? Okay, I think I'm just going to go ahead. Let me assume that people are listening to me. So type in if you can hear me, just so that I'm not talking to myself. Type in if you can hear me, so that I just know that the people are just not responding. Sorry, I'm not trying to spotlight anybody or embarrass anybody, but thank you. Okay, so it means a couple of persons are following. All right. So Joy, would you tell us, be so kind to tell us, what is your life's vision? Supposing you were asked that question, I'm spotlighting you. Joy, tell us. Okay, I don't know whether this thing is open to people to respond. Okay, but I'm just going to go ahead. Right? So you have to come to a place of laying hold on what is your life's vision, because what you don't want to do is leaving NYSC scheme and you are now facing life, right? Full-blown life. You are facing it without foundation. And what I consider foundation, you know how a tree can be, dancing in the wind when the wind is howling, and then perhaps there's a storm, there's a tempest, there's an abundance of rainfall, and in the course of that wind, and you will discover that there are different types of trees, even if all trees are tree, but many trees are not trees, as it were. What I mean by that is some trees are not properly rooted or established, and you will not really know, except that when the wind comes, you will not really know the difference between the strength of two trees, except when there is a rainfall, right? And that rainfall tests the rigidity and tests the depth of the trees. So you can just see a plantain tree, and you see a mango tree, and you see an iroko tree. They are all trees, so we are all copper, sabi. So we are all human beings, sabi. But you see, the test of life would come to every one of us. And I tell you that the true test comes after NYSC. So if you're not taking root downward now, if you're not making sure that you're laying foundation using your 1 year, where you have to be radical and rugged about getting a hold of yourself, an accurate self-awareness, and drawing up a map for your life, a roadmap for your life. If you're not going to do it now, if you get out there, you will not even have the time to think. You will not even have the time to plan. You will not even have the time to try to build. It's going to be bus, right? And that's what a lot of people are facing. Right? I have a couple of friends. I've discussed with a lot of persons, and they are there. The situation right now is life is hitting them hard. And you see, during the time of service, all they were doing is they were rejoicing in the fact that being paid 3,000 rand, right? That money, that gives you that sense of financial security, but it's not going to last forever. What are you doing to be able to? What are you doing to be able to get a security that transcends beyond NYSC, Alawi, right? So the first thing you want to do is laying hold on your vision, and the way to come to lay hold on your vision is to just do two things. I'm just going to share two things. What do you do for you to come to that place of vision awareness? What do you do for you to come to that place of vision awareness? Number one, sit down with yourself and do a self-introspection. And this self-introspection entails that you have to ask yourself two basic questions. What are my strengths and what are my weaknesses? Everybody has to do this thing, and this thing is more practical than I'm saying. I've done this with myself. I've been able to come to a place of accurate, keen self-awareness. I know what to give my time to and what not to give my time to, because I know myself. Knowing yourself is probably one of the hardest things for people to do. People can't sit with themselves. People can't face themselves. And I tell you that if you'll be able to conquer self, I think it was Socrates, I was saying, all right, the Greek philosopher, know thyself. It's one of the hardest things. You have to come to a place of self-awareness, because the journey will test you. The wind will beat on you. And if you don't have a rugged foundation of self-awareness, you will fall. So when the wind blows, the plantain tree will fall, but the iroko will still be standing. You know the difference? The difference is depth of root. How deep do you know yourself? Because when those tests come, and I tell you, trials, tests will come to every one of us. But it is the person that has root in himself. Is the person that has depth of self-awareness. That's the person that can stand the test of time. Everything must be tested. Time is the test of quality, the quality of your life, the quality of your decisions. Right now, where you are, it's because of the number of decisions that you have taken in the past. And if you want a good future, then today must be able to harvest a number of quality decisions. It's your today that makes tomorrow. When people say the future is not, the future is now. The future is now. The future is what you're doing with your time. The future is where you are engaging your energy. The future is where you are channeling your resources. The future is what you're doing now. Everything you're doing is a seed. There is going to be an harvest. Right? So laying hold of your vision, the first thing you want to do if you want to come to that place of a sense of vision for your life is self-introspection. And self-introspection means you are asking yourself two questions. What is my strength? What is my weakness? Or better still, what are my strengths? Because there's not going to be one. And what are my weaknesses? And what are my strengths would mean you have to ask yourself the abilities that you have, the gifts that you have, the things you know you can do, the character dispositions that you have. These things make for your strength. Let me say that again. or somebody has to be typing it so that for your own good, right? Self-introspection is the first thing you need to do to come into a place of your life vision. And for you to do self-introspection, just ask yourself two questions. What are my strengths and what are my weaknesses? So let's deal with what are my strengths. What are my strengths would entail the gifts you have and the character you already are predisposed to. Let me explain why this is necessary. I believe in what I call the twin of virtue and value. Virtue has to do with your moral compass. Value has to do with your gift and your skills by which you make, just like the word says, value contribution to society. That is what society is going to pay you for. I was asking a couple of young people and I was asking them, what do people know you for? And one of them was say, people know me, I'm very humble. People say I'm very kind. People say I'm very compassionate. I say, you don't monetize compassion. No? I hope you know. You don't monetize that. You don't monetize humility. Those things cannot be monetized. Now, while that in itself is the foundation, I truly believe that character is the foundation for every becoming. I truly believe that with all my might. But if character is all you have and you do not have gift and skills that will contribute meaningfully to the world, then you are not balanced. So the balance is between virtue and value. The balance is between virtue and value. So you want to ask yourself, what are the God-given abilities I have? Some of you can write excellently and you don't need to even learn it. Other people are finding it difficult. Some of you you have this business acumen. Your hands are good in trading. Some of you are into catering, and this catering, remember, I just maybe need to just say the difference between a gift and a skill. A gift is given. That's why it's called a gift. A gift is given by God, a natural ability, but a skill is an acquired ability. A skill is something that you learn. A gift, you don't learn a gift. A gift is something that was given to you by God. You just know that naturally from the time you were born, as a child growing up, this is something you easily find doing. And it could be anything. It could be anything as simple as learning you are very organizing, right? You are very organizational in terms of you can organize things. I know somebody who is so neat and the person does not know that neatness is a gift. Yes, it's a gift. It's a gift. I know people who are very organized. If they come into a place where there is chaos, they just bring order into those people. That is where you now begin to develop a sense of career path. That's where you begin to develop a sense of monetization around your abilities. That's why I'm raising these issues. I'm raising the issue. You have to come to a place of self-awareness. Who are you? What do you have? What is your skill? What's your gift? What is your strength? What is your character disposition? You will use all that. Every decision you make will now be around that. That is what you are going to have as your life's vision, because every other thing is going to be about this. That is your foundation, right? I don't know if I'm making sense to somebody already. I don't know if somebody's getting value, but your strengths, and then you must now know what your weaknesses are. Because of the time, I'm supposed to end by 9:45. There's about 4 minutes. I'm just going to mention them in passing, right? So, when you have identified your strengths, the next thing is to ask what your weaknesses are. Now, the reason you want to ask that question is because the matter of self-development and personal development and capacity building should be around the areas of your weaknesses more than your strengths. Because every one of us is created to be incomplete. We are created to be deficient. We are created to be insufficient of ourselves. Nobody has it all. Everybody on this call has a weakness. And if you have a weakness, what it means, in fact, the way God created the humanity is the same way nature was created. If you look at the ecosystem of nature in biology, you discover that one part of nature is complementing the other part of nature. That is how you are supposed to be complementing me and I'm supposed to be complementing you. What I have as a strength may be a weakness to you. And that's why you would now be admiring me. And what I have as a weakness, you are my problem solver. That's the world is. So they have mechanics, we have teachers, we have preachers, we have caterers, we have different people with different abilities, because everybody has a strength in an area. You have to contribute your own, I contribute my own, then we make the world a better place. Value contribution. So what is your value? That's what I'm asking. So that when once you now start going out of NYSC scheme, all your decisions should be around building your value. People just go and enroll into capacity building programs, and you are doing capacity building programs, but you have not first come to the place of self-awareness. That is dangerous, because what you're doing is not strategic. Strategy means you first have an understanding of yourself, and then when you now have to engage with personal development, you are trying to build your strengths and your weaknesses, because of strengths can be built, and by built I mean that your gifts and your skills can be sharpened. You know how gold is found in the earth, right? Gold is found in the earth and it is not usable in its raw state, in its raw form, but albeit gold is found in the earth. But what you do is that you have to take that gold and process it through fire. That is when people can appreciate the beauty, the shining texture, the brilliance of a gold. If I bring gold come up from earth, give you, you're not going to appreciate them, because it looks very drab. It looks bland. But you have to put it through fire. And when you put it through fire, it purifies it, and then you can now better appreciate it when it has been processed. That is how our giftings and our skills are. In its raw form, it is not appreciated except you refine it. So what do you do to your strength? You refine your strength. And then what do you do your weaknesses? You build your weaknesses. So some of you know that one of your weaknesses is laziness. That is where you now begin to engage personal development programs that has to do with building building diligence, which is the opposite of laziness. So what I'm saying is very practical. You have to itemize these things once and for all. Deal with this thing. Deal with this thing. If you're not dealing with this thing up to now and you are a graduate, what are you doing with your life? I don't know. Am I being followed? Is somebody following me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So these are the two things you need to do for you to come to a place of a sense of your life's vision, right? Right? That's what you need to do. First, if I want to lay hold on my life's vision, I ask myself, I do what is called self-introspection. And self-introspection demands I ask myself two questions. What are my strengths? Write them down. What are my weaknesses? Write them down. When I did it with myself, I wrote down about 41 weaknesses I found in me. 41 weaknesses. You know how many strengths I have? I have about 10 strengths, but my weakness is plenty. You now see why I need to give myself to personal development, because weakness is plenty. I don't know if somebody is getting the point I'm trying to make. This is how your personal development and your capacity building initiatives can be strategic, because you are now pinpointing areas in your life that you need to work on. It's not just any course we come and I want to take this course, any course we come and I want to do leadership. Is your problem leadership? Because there are some people who are actually born leaders. Yes, there are people who know how to organize people. There are people who have these likable personalities that draw people. They have the gift, so to say, of leadership. You will not get the gift. At least you can learn it as a skill, so you don't have excuse. Are you getting that? You don't have excuse. So the long and short of this is identify your strength and identify your weaknesses. Mr. Silas, I'm so sorry. The time is already 9:46. I don't know. Let me just begin to round up. Okay, so when you've identified your strengths and weaknesses, the second thing you want to do, just to aid you, remember I said self-introspection. The second thing is people observation. Why am I raising that? The reason is because you can never know enough about yourself. In fact, there are some parts of yourself you will never get to know except people call it out, right? If you're sitting down, if I say touch your leg, you can touch your leg, Abi. If I say touch your head, you can touch your head, Abi. If I say touch your chest, you can touch your chest. If I say touch your back, can you touch your back? If I even say look at your back, can you look at your back? But you can look at your legs. You can look at every part of your body, but you cannot look at your back. You know why? It means that there is allowance, there is a place where you cannot see in your life. There is something about you cannot see. The same way you cannot see your back, it is meant for people to see. So if something is scratch you for back, you say, help me scratch my back. That is what I'm saying. There is a portion of your life that is not meant for you to see. It's meant for others to see. And that is why you have to do what is called people observation. Sit down with your family members. Don't go and ask them the same questions you ask yourself. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Ask your father, ask your mother, ask your brother, ask your sisters. You know why you're asking them? Nobody knows you like people where they wake up with you, where they sleep with you, where they eat with you. Nobody knows you like them. Don't go and start asking a stranger, somebody you just met and the person don't they impressed by your personal branding. right? No, those people do not know you. The people who know you now, those people who deal with you, gone for house. Start with those ones. Start with your close friends. Ask them this question, bro, what do you think is my strength? What do you think is my weaknesses? Let them itemize it for them. Now, what you do, gather what people have observed and gather your introspection, gather them together. You will have a robust understanding of yourself. Now, once that has happened, then you now begin to engage with personal development, capacity building, right? So that is how you come to lay a hold on a sense of vision. Now, when you have done that, the second thing that you must do is pursuing the vision. I'm very, very dramatic about what I'm saying. Laying hold on the vision is the first thing you do. How do you lay hold on the vision? Self-introspection, people observation. The second thing you need to do is what? Pursue the vision. Now, when it has to do with pursuing the vision, that is where many people are. That's where many people are faulting. It is easy to do the first thing I said, though. But you discover that action is the differentiating factor between those who are successful and those who are not successful. Did you get what I just said? Action is the if I have sat down, okay, I forgot to give you a couple of time no day. Okay, let me just resist this temptation. But the point is, when I came to NYSC here in Katsina, I said I came from Port Harcourt. I decided to stay here back in Katsina and then do some service. I joined the CDS digital. Okay, so I joined the digital onboarder CDS, of which I was president, and then I was able to obtain a digital skill because I discovered that I needed a digital skill for my personal branding. I got into digital marketing, obtained a Google certified digital marketing a course on Coursera. And then what happened, not on Coursera, on Google, it was a Google platform. So what happened was 3 months, 1 month after I finished that course, I got a social media management job. That was the first of my, all this thing happened in service here to one of the top rated hotels in Enugu, 5-star hotel. It's called Omede Luxury. You can go and check on that. Now, I got my first gig. And ever since, I've been having these sort of things. The reason I'm saying is I now have a career path that is built around my gift and my skill. I know how to write. I know how to be creative, right? I'm a creative, basically. So my career path is set. All these things came from my NYSC journey. And I say it could be the same with you as well, right? So that is the same thing you want to do. Design what you are going to be doing afterwards, but that design should come from a place of accurate self-awareness. And then the second thing I said is what? Pursuing your vision. Now, in pursuing your vision, there is one thing you need: network. Let me say this very clearly. You can't pursue that vision alone. No? Man is by default lazy. How many people don't do New Year resolution? How far? You discover that you wrote down certain things. I will not do this year. I will not do that this year. I will not do that. 1 week, 1 month into the year. How far now? The point there is, we are not sufficient of ourselves. You need to understand what strategic friendship is. The same way you do strategic planning, you must have strategic networking. And for me, you want to ask me to define friendship. Friendship is people who are like-minded, people who are helping me to grow, and I am also helping them to grow. It's a mutual benefit. Are you seeing that now? I am complete in you, and you are complete in me. If I stand alone, I am incomplete. I need somebody to complete me. There's no room for pride, though. They can never go as far. See, accomplishing your vision in life, you need people. And that's how we should begin to engage friendship strategically, right? So that is the second. Pursuing your vision means you need a system of accountability, right? So that once you step out of NYC, do these things I'm telling you. And that's why I said I'm more special to those who are still serving. For those who are not serving their S-corpers, it's not wrong. It's not bad. There's still time. We are all young. You can begin to enact these things. But for those who are serving now, please use your 1 year to get these things sorted out, so that by the time you enter into the world of work, you enter into pressure times 10. You should be able to have a footing and a ground, so that and eventually you fly, basically. So pursuing your vision means that you need networking, you need people. When I was back in Katsina, okay, I'm still in Katsina actually. When I was during my service here, I attended every tech conference in Katsina that I could attend. I networked with everybody I could network. I stay in a community of like minds, right? So I connected with everybody I needed to connect. And guess what? The progress I'm making today, even in my own life's vision, the moderator must have said that I happen to be the convener of wisdom workers, right? That is a vision that I consider God given, right? And that's a vision I'm running with till the rest of my life. But that vision is only being made possible, as it were, by my friends, right? Well, I just came off from a particular meeting and then came onto this call, and that meeting was just a strategic meeting on how to set up one of my conferences here in Katsina. So what am I saying? You need network. You need network. You need people in your life. Take your service here and network with people, meet people. Don't stay in one place and hold up yourself in one place. Go out to events. Go out to not because you are going to hear something you have not heard before. Right? Most of the meetings I was going out for, it's not as if I've been here. I've done here a lot of things. I've been hearing. I listen to a lot of podcasts. So I'm very versatile if I want to be. But sometimes I go to this thing just because I need to network with people, because the advancement of my vision in life can only be made possible by my strategic relationship. That's one of the things you want to do. So that by the time you go outside there, you are preserved from the pressure. You need a voice of reason that will be constantly reminding you on what you're supposed to be doing. You need a voice of reason that will be constantly bringing you into alignment. Suppose you derail just a bit, right? So for me, I feel if you can be able to do these two things, right? I'm saying this summarily now before I give over to the moderator. Number one, lay hold on your vision. How do you lay hold on your vision? Ask yourself two questions, and that is what self-introspection is all about. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Itemize them, and then ask people these same two questions: self-introspection and people observation. Ask people these same questions. I beg, tell me, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? When you have that data, use that data to form your decision on what to learn and what not to learn, on what skill to obtain and what not skill, one skill to obtain, on what career path that aligns to your gift. Because many people now, they study zoology, but now right I be. We didn't have the orientation before we came to university. It's not your fault, but you can remedy that now, right? Some of you are doing banking and finance, but you're a musician. What am I saying? So your gifting and your skill should inform your career path, basically. That's where you will have a sense of fulfillment. You know, look as if you work. You will just be working from a place of ease because you're doing something that satisfies you. It's your natural ability from a place of ease. That's where career path is built around, right? So you want to do that. Once you do that, you have an accurate sense of self. All these things are typed. All these things are properly penned down on paper. The moment you get that pen down on paper, then what do you need to do for you to now engage it, to implement that action, to implement that roadmap? What I want to be this in my next 70 years, in the next 10 years, 5 years of my life. Okay, what do I do? Okay, this is the goal for 2025. This is the goal for 2026. I will be doing this daily routine every day. It will take me inches closer to my destination, inches closer to that success that I've defined for myself. Then you now begin to go every day. You are doing something that is bringing you closer. You are learning something. You are engaging in something. You are creating something. This is how you progressively come into destiny, purpose, whatever you want to call it, success, right? That is where the place for pursuing the vision is. Pursuing the vision means you need people that will run with you, right? So I know I've done a lot of scatter firing, but I believe you'll be able to get one or two things. My presentation may not be very, very cohesive and transitional, but I know I've been able to say something. So I want to drop it here. I'm so sorry, sir, for taking the time, but please, apologies. Mr. Silas, or is it Mr. the moderator? Over to you now. Thank you so much.
All right, so thank you very much. We would like you to stay behind in case there is any questions. So, Sir Jerry, I don't know if he's around, the moderator for this meeting, but if he's not around, I will push it up from here. You've done a very great job for us tonight, and we really want to appreciate the energy and the value you've dished out to us this night. For me, my note is here. I've been writing, and I believe, guys, you guys have been putting up some things down since. Okay, so I would like us to, in one or two, can you just, if there's any question, so that you ask our facilitator tonight. Please ask any question relating to the topic in view.
All right. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I want to thank our facilitator for a well-delivered lecture tonight. I think my major take home is on the part of where he talked about that it's one thing for you to know the vision, be able to have come up with a very beautiful plan and all that, but it's another thing entirely for one to pursue the pursue the vision. So it's actually a bigger thing for us to be able to not just know what we want to do in this life, but actually have the momentum, the knowledge, and the stamina to bring it all to fruition. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. So that will allow our speaker to rest if there's nobody else. I'd like you to say one or two things, like Sajo. Please, I want you to say a little thing, even if it is in the next 2 minutes. A case of skill in developing or becoming successful in life regarding to what next after NYC. Developing skill, learning skill, improving on skills relating to being successful as regards to what next after NYC. What's the place of skill? Thank you, sir.
All right, and thank you. It's a quick one on that. Yes, skills very important, and the world, as it were, is now headed towards. I'm just going to be fast about this. The world, the future of work, the future of work is artificial intelligence and automation. And what are the list of skills that I would advise that everybody on this course should go for? It could be anything, actually. There are skills that are never going to be redundant in the nearest future, right? Those are the skills that have what is called AI proof, right? That they are going to be eternally relevant. And these skills are skills that I think we should be going for so that they can draw us money. Now, although I did say that we need to build a career around our giftings as skills, but that is not always the case, right? Because there is such a thing as high demand skills, right? These high demand skills are skills that will bring you money. I have a principle that works, and that principle I believe in is that you can do what you don't want to do to get what you want, right? You can do what you don't want to do to get what you want. So it doesn't really have to be that you must do something that aligns with your giftings and your skills. It may not necessarily be the case every time. I'm saying, for me now, I don't like anything that has to do with cryptocurrency, but I have to learn it, because whether I like it or not, you need that knowledge. I personally need the knowledge because of the kinds of things I see myself doing in the next of years. So I have to learn it. So I'm saying, please, if there's anything I want to advise, is go for any skill that you feel that is in high demand. Don't just go for any back skill. And tech skills is the leading thing now, right? Go for tech skills, go for photography, graphic design, UI, UX, data analysis, right? Digital marketing is the one I want everybody to learn. For me, I always advocate digital. Why? Because of personal branding. We should always, every one of us, no matter what you're doing, you're a doctor, you're whatever it is, you must know how to do, right? Digital marketing. And then another thing is, try to be entrepreneurial enough to know how to get the business dimension of whatever profession you are into. For the doctor, try to look for the business dimension of practicing your doctorship. For a lawyer, there's a business dimension to every work you have. You're a teacher. Why not, beyond being a teacher, why not start selling stationaries? Why not open a bookstore, right? That there's a business dimension to every work. As a doctor, why not being a supplier of medical equipment, right? There's a business dimension. Why not be a consultant? There's a business dimension, right? So it's not just you working as an intrapreneur. You also have the intrapreneurial mindset. You try to be set up entrepreneurship around your profession and so on and so forth. So I'm saying there are a lot of skills. I believe this platform is the platform that will give us all those sort of skills we need. And he has already mentioned the person of Mr. Silas that by Thursday, I believe, or something, he's going to have a list down of the kind of skills that we should engage. So all those skills are fine. High demand skills. I'm not going to be particular with one. Just go on Google, search it out. High demand skills. More of them are tech skills related. So that's my answer.
All right, so thank you very much. Um, all of us here may not know the man that is talking right now, but I believe it's an opportunity for us to listen to him in this way. I bet next time you might hear his voice, you might pay for it. Because it's an opportunity to have him in this meeting, and we are not taking it for granted. Now, I've given us the opportunity to ask a blank slate for you to ask any questions, and you did ask anything. It's just like somebody that if you want to actually have a consulting moment with him to ask any question, definitely uh, you are going to see through process or procedure, so to say, to meet him. But he's here with us, and we did ask any questions. Very I know we don't know, that is why. But sir, please, I would like my people to benefit from your community. But I don't know. I'm just asking. Can you just in 2 minutes, sir, before you leave? We are sorry for taking your time. Tell us about the Kingdom Workers and how maybe I will reach out to you so that we can get a link that they can join. Please, I'm begging you on behalf of them so that they can at least be part of your community. They can follow you on any of your social media, please. Maybe in 2 minutes time, sir.
I'm a convener for two platforms. These two platforms are two different outfits, right? One is more religious oriented, so that's Wisdom Workers. But the one I'm going to present in the house is Destiny Network Associates. So what we do is to have conversations around very, very important topics that will shape our life and our narrative, basically. So we are doing conversations. We're also having workshops and trainings, and these are the things that are already on ground that we intend to do for all of those who are in part of the community of Destiny Network Associates, right? We truly believe that we are going to destiny, and if there is such a thing as business associates, there should be destiny associates. That's why it's called Destiny Network Associates. So it's a network of people who are like-minded, who wants to reach out to success, and we want to do it together. So this answers to that pursuing your vision stuff. Is a system of accountability. So I'm going to be dropping a link. I'll share it with you, Mr. Silas, and Wisdom Workers. Maybe I'll also share with that. But that's also to the religious side. So thank you so much.
All right, so thank you so much. Please, guys, can follow him on social media. Search for the name Joshua Lucas M or my Ghana. I don't know how to pronounce it very well, but we are putting this meeting to end right now, and we want to say thank you very much, sir, for coming to this meeting, for sparing your time to this out value to us. We are really grateful, and we hope to see more of you as time goes on. We appreciate and we really say thank you. So, guys, you can drop a thank you message um, in the comment section. So, I would like to say thank you everyone for coming as well. Your presence here make this meeting a successful one, and we hope to also see you around whenever we call out for meeting. Be ready to also contribute to the growth of the community. I might come to the WhatsApp group and ask as well ask you to know more of your gifts and your skills, and we try to what's it called now, to contribute to the community. Please, if you didn't get anything, get this. You know, he says something about vision, he says something about knowing who you are, he says something about introspection, that is asking yourself certain questions, your strength, your weakness. Then there is a place, I don't know if that English is correct, but something like introspection, but I think the right word for the explanation there is that asking people about feedback. I asked somebody today, maybe around in the morning, and I asked her a simple questions. I say something like, "Okay, what is the common question? The common question that people ask you every time." And when I mean common question, I mean what is the common inquiries that people comes to you to ask? Like what did they also always come to you to ask of? If you think very well, you will now begin to know that this is the area of your capacity as well, and things you can monetize on. Are you getting it? Because people tend to know, okay, people believe that you have more knowledge in this area. Even you yourself may not even know. but they believe in you, they notice something around you, so they keep asking you these questions around this particular niche, around this particular part of life. So one of the things you do is to take note as well the questions that people always ask you. All right, that's where we now begin to do everything we are saying here tonight, build visions around um life and the rest. So please guys, I'm also running out, or I have a meeting as well in the next few minutes. So we'll be putting this to a close right now, and I'd like to say cheer up. So good night.